views. I'd now like to invite Mrs. Tara Kartha. Madam, all yours. About 10 odd minutes, your views.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope this hasn't been discussed already, but my is most what shall I say? My most puzzling question is why the air attacks happened when Mohammad Sadiq, who's an extremely competent ambassador, he's been the longest serving ambassador to Afghanistan in Pakistan. I mean, he's very good. He's in Kabul, and the Pakistani strike. These two things I still don't make sense.
Not covered as yet.
Yeah. So I can't get my head around this. So either Mohammed Sadiq was told they didn't care about him, and the ISI and the army just did whatever they wanted to do, which is unlikely. Where did they strike? They struck the district where the Afghan foreign minister, his home district was struck in Barmal. They're talking to him, and they strike his home district. And just across the earlier strike was in the Haqqani area. So the Pakistan contention is that the head of TTP, what is his name? His name is Nurwali Masood, is staying in Kabul. Now, if he's staying in Kabul, why they didn't bump him off, I don't know, because it's well within the Pakistan capabilities. And the fact that I would differ slightly with General Shankar, I wouldn't call the TTP surrogates of the Taliban. No Kabul government has ever controlled the border, the outlying areas of Afghanistan. This has never done so. So
I've seen.
plus,
I know.
Sorry. Plus these this whole TTP racket, there's a dissonance in numbers. They're talking 20,000 fighters. The UN says 6,000 odd. Then the worrying trend for us is that there is this reports, I don't know how true it is, saying that the TTP and the Al-Qaeda and the certain Baloch groups could come together, and that these three together with the Jamatul Harar may come together again. So that is, and attack India, right? That's what they're saying. So I'm beginning, because we know that there are sections of fighters, you can call them TTP, you can call them anything you like, who are going through Kuram and into Afghanistan, into Kabul, the shortest route as we know. And that is in some point reason why the Kuram conflict was taking place, apart from the Shia Sunni stuff, right? That has been the ingress into Kabul for decades. So there's a lot of unknown factors here. There is a TTP presence. It seems to have been trained. Now they're saying it was trained by Al-Qaeda. It doesn't make sense. But nonetheless, that's what people are saying. If indeed the TTP is going in that direction, then it is a threat for us also. Meanwhile, the Pakistanis, I mean, much of the people in Kandahar Taliban, virtually all of them have lived in Pakistan for decades, right? The Kandahar, a lot of them. Also applies to a bunch of people in Kabul. So this, what shall I say, this curious factor of the strikes taking place and diplomacy alongside, one could have been a message to hone up the Ambassador Sadiq's, his position, saying that you do this or else, and or else happened at the airstrikes. That's the only thing I can think of. Otherwise, this doesn't make sense. Where is it going to go forward? I really can't make out. If that message was delivered and has been accepted, then we have to see what the Taliban will do, because Russia, as you know, has already stepped in saying that, let's bring down tensions, let's not get this out of hand. Stanexai has just gone up to say, don't try our patience. We can, if you have missiles like Mahmoud and Ghazni, he says the originals are in Afghanistan itself. We've got them sitting here, we send them across. Right. So all that stuff there's a lot of interesting things happening. And the key here for us is, can we get Afghanistan? Trade is rising. They have been doing pretty well. Is it still going through Pakistan? Some of it is. So when we say that there's a total standoff between Afghanistan and Pakistan, that may not be true. So, which is why I said in Afghanistan, you have to see it like in segments. There is some segments which are still working together with Pakistan. And for example, the trade, the commerce, everything is, there was one shipment which went through Gwadar. So all this is happening. And I think the Chinese are also trying to make peace between these guys. But until we can figure out what this thing meant in terms of their actual capacity to act against the TTP, which is quite a lot, because Pakistan's ISI still has a very large footprint inside Afghanistan. So it didn't really need to do an airstrike. It could have done a couple of dozen other assassinations without, but they were sending a message. And that hasn't resonated very well anywhere, not in any state in the Muslim world. So I think, yeah, there's more trouble coming for Pakistan. Meanwhile, of course, Shahbaz Sharif is busy fighting with his own, coalition partners. So that's not a good sign. It's back to General Asim Munir to hold the reins. So I'll stop there.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tara Kartha. General Shankar just messaged me that his electricity has gone off. So by the time it comes back in his locality, I thought we can continue with this discussion. You made some very valuable points, and if scholars like you and Brigadier Arun Sehgal are somewhat mystified by the attack that took place in a particular region at a particular time, then it is something deeper. There is certainly some messaging going on as we see it. Obviously, everybody, Russia, China, and the others, well-wishers of both the countries, would want the tempers to cool down and things to return to normal. But the fact remains that there's no unified command and control over there, unlike in Pakistan. And that will continue to play out. Thank you very much, Dr. Kartha. I am aware that you are busy today. So thank you very much for your time and for coming onto our webinar.